changing before we go live. The man's ripped to death. I will say that. I will say that for him.
I've not noticed.
I'm just skinny.
I'm just dad bod me, mate. I'm dad bod. It is what it is. But yeah, just while I'm on that as well, if you can, people, if you can, my Wi-Fi's gone all sketchy. Just bear with me one sec.
Yeah.
And now the YouTube, I've got loads going on in me. Right, I'm back. So basically, I'm going to be walking 92 mile for Gary Speed in aid of Andy's Man Club and the Samaritans. The link's in the description. If you can sponsor me, please do head on over there. That's going to be next week. I feel so underprepared for it, but there we go. Max, you back with us? First time here with Lewis as well. The goat of the vlogging scene. So you know what I mean. Maybe after you can share tips, mate. You know what I mean, and that stuff. But how are you doing, Max? All right.
Good time, mate. Yeah. Apart from existential dread about what's about to happen this week, but I guess we're going to get into that, aren't we?
We are. We certainly are, mate. We certainly. I love that shirt, by the way. It's
just a shame that we don't put the actual on the on the thing you wanted, because you've seen the nice. Ellis Platten videos, I guess, where he goes around classic football shirts.
Yeah,
some belting Leeds ones in his videos, but they don't quite hit the same these ones, do they? When there's the score draw ones or whatever they are.
Yeah. Is it 92 that one season?
I think so, yeah.
We beat Sheffield United, didn't we? In that away.
Get Lewis, man. Get Lewis. But at least story.
I know it were a yellow kit, but I didn't know if that was 93 or.
Was that not? Was that? I can't remember it.
It's a nice kit.
It was the yellow one with the top man on it as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't know which season it was, but yeah.
I think just while we're on it, I think the original sort of one of this is one of my faves, the Thistle Hotel ones.
The 94 one.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
A hotel. Is it
Thistle Hotels? Yeah.
Is it hotels?
Yeah.
I thought it was hostel. Yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh.
Hustle? What's a hustle?
A fossil thistle. What?
Thistle hustle.
Yeah. JT, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Not bad. Good to be here. Good to see my man Lewis. It's been so long. Been missing you. Never thought I would. What can I say?
Wow. Well, there you go.
I've got some
on the heartstrings.
My mate who I go to the football with as well was bigging you up on your videos. He said, "Oh, I like watching him, but can you have a word with him about something for me?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Will you tell him to stop doing this?" He said, "I understand all the YouTubers do it, but he says he just do it. It gives me an
zooming in and out
all the time."
Oh, with the video, yeah. Well, it adds for effect. What can you say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it's so funny though. I was like, "Oh, is it?"
I thought you meant for a minute. It's
just rocking in.
Going like,
sorry.
Oh, the zooming out. Yeah. Nah,
I don't know what it's called.
It's an editing thing, isn't it? It's just
it's a zoom cut, I think.
It's one of those things where if it's a talking video, a lot of people can't just sit and watch someone talk. So the editing.
No, it adds more effect when you're sliding.
It's more snappy. I like that, but.
Yeah.
Or if you say something funny and you zoom in for comedic effect and then pop back out again. But
I mean, JT never says all funny though, so you can't.
Yeah. That's ironically, that's the funniest thing you said since I've known you. So.
I love it. Nah. I kid. Like I don't know. I'm not up with all these. You guys know the YouTube scene. I do not know about all these.
You only found out what analytics meant 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm smashing them. Did you not see that 100% click-through rate? It's really working.
See, I didn't even get that. You put it in the group chat. Went, I've got 100%. I was like, I don't get what the joke is.
No, because there was one view. It was one view with 100% click-through rate.
Okay. What does that mean, though? They've just gone straight to the end, or what?
Yeah, what it means is it's only popped up to one person and they've clicked on it.
I see. Right. Okay. Well, there you go. That's good, though.
Progress, man.
Yeah, progress. Progress. Anyway, we're not here to talk about YouTube and analytics and all that stuff. We're obviously here to talk about Leeds United and what we could coin as Judgment Day tomorrow. Like, it is that big tomorrow, Thursday night's games. It's all riding on them. But who wants to go first on Saturday or Sunday's result? Were we happy?
I'll let one of the people that went to the game speak first, i.e. everyone but me. What was it like in there, boys? What was it like in there? What was the feeling like inside the stadium?
What, you mean all game or like the
No, you're after leaving the stadium. What's everyone feeling?
I mean, I said more or less straight away, like, obviously, you put the tweet out, don't you? Acknowledge the moment. But then it comes to the point where, you know, I'm walking up Lowfield Road and I'm thinking to myself, actually, although the moment was unbelievable, don't get me wrong, because those moments are, no matter what position you're in, you get a 92nd minute equaliser win or whatever it is, it's euphoria. But then you actually sort of...
Decent show.
Yeah, you look at the perspective and you think, I've been saying all week, we need to win or we're down.
Yeah, you said not win and you said not win.
I said don't win and we're down.
Yeah.
I thought a draw's not enough, man. And I still...
you still believe that after Burnley and Villa both losing? Sorry, Everton both losing?
Yes.
You do?
I do. And
so you're saying we're down?
I'm leaning more that way. I know.
Well, I'm liking that because you've been wrong with pretty much everything you've said on this show. So, if you think we're down, that's making me happy.
When I made the, I know, because I know you're going to bring it up. I know you're going to bring it up. The comment where I said it was heading towards looking like the lowest points tallies for survival. It's now heading towards the highest. That was freak. I wasn't wrong what I said at the time. But it's gone so freak. I wasn't. Well,
I mean, it's almost as if someone disagreed with you at that moment. I don't know who. It's almost as if someone said there's no way that the same three teams would stay at the bottom for the entire season.
I'm not backtracking because I wasn't wrong in what I said in the moment. The table was heading, and now it freakishly went in a direction where Everton and Burnley just couldn't stop winning or picking points up. That doesn't happen, but it has, and that
always happens.
It does. Well, it does.
Let me just say on this, by the way, I said the average over so many seasons 35.7. I said get to 36 and let's assess where we are. I was told we need 42 by one JT. I was told XYZ. Guess what? We've got one game to go and we're still on 35. So there you go, man. Stick with me. I told you this.
I just, So we can talk about like what we expect is going to happen, but on the result alone, I was buzzing with the moment, but I overall I can't say I'm happy with the result.
I think that's totally fair because when we had that chance that hit Cooper in the face about 3 minutes in, I thought it's not going to be our day here. But if that had gone in, and we've had other chances as well. I mean, Welbeck had that absolute sitter where he headed it past the post, but I genuinely was feeling a bit sick when we were 1-0 down. It was getting later and later into the second half.
Wigan, didn't it?
Yeah, and I was just like, this is absolutely horrendous. We've had the chances and it just doesn't seem to be going our way. So, like, I totally agree with you. The moment is unbelievable because it always is for an equaliser like that. But the actual result, we said, like, jokingly, you might need 1 point to stay up. From this point, what we said last week, you might do mathematically, but it's more worrying now, isn't it? If we'd have put 3 points on the board and only needed a draw against Brentford, would have been so much less pressure on the last day. It's all in Burnley and Everton's hands now, isn't it, to win tomorrow night? And
yeah, but context is everything, man. Now, look, had you asked me last week, would you take a draw? Absolutely not. I would have spat in your face, punched in your face, kicked you in whatever I could do. Yeah, that would have been going in your face. And yeah, I was the one that said, look, we need 3 points against Arsenal or Chelsea or we're down. But context changes as the game goes on. And with the game ebbing away like that, had we lost, we were down. We were down and everything was going against us. Everything was starting to turn toxic. You hear, what I would call clampets chanting against the board. Bunch of frauds, if you ask me. But that's a story for another day.
We'll talk about that.
I was going to say it's a story for
we will talk about that later.
We will talk about that later.
We will talk about that later. But you got everything going against you. The fan base, everyone down here, whether you're in the stadium, whether at home, it's just that sinking feeling, like you said against Wigan, where it's just you're waiting for the doom to happen, and you're just there's no hope. It's slowly being sucked away from you. And then you touched on that Welbeck chance there. And then I saw that happen. And I said it to anyone that would hear when that happened. I said, is that moment right there, him missing that header, is that the thing that keeps Leeds up? That one miss, because football is a game of fine margins.
Lamptey as well, right at the end, nearly killed.
Yeah, good chance, but that Welbeck one was a sitter. It was a sitter.
But I think you lot are forgetting a few chances because you seem to.
No. They had about. They could have been about 15-0 up.
5-0 down.
Oh, we could have. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
The
what
thing
I'm
is, as
saying
well,
is, it's key moments, and the way we won it at the end there. Does that not mean more? Can a team score this many last-minute equalizers and not go down, or is it fate that we're going to stay up? Sometimes things are bigger than just the result.
Yeah,
we did concede a lot of chances and a lot of very good chances for them to score, and we've got to be thankful that they are absolutely shocking at finishing. But think about that Rafinha chance that Rodrigo put across. He should have buried that. He had that free kick that nearly went in. The positive for me from this game was unbelievable. But we created so many more chances than we have been.
19, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we had the highest XG against Brighton. I think it was 2 point something in the last 7 games of any team that have played them, including Man United, was it City as well? There was a few teams in there that are proper, very expensive squads, let's say, very talented players that haven't created as many chances as we did against Brighton. And Potter seemed to be happy with the point. So I think there's definitely a positive that we can take from it, that we were so much
game of
better
two
than we were
halves,
against
wasn't
Chelsea.
It was a game of 2 halves. First half, we were shite.
Yeah.
Second half, different story.
I think the ones that stand out were obviously first minute, Cooper blocks off at line. Rafa's free kick, very smart from him.
I don't think Click's effort in the first half as well.
Click as well.
It was a good save. The first half one it was a half chance, but the second half one should have scored that. He
should have done better. Yeah, it was a good little touch from John.
Where Click had that shot, so you've all got in your mind now where we're thinking of on the pitch. They had 4 shots, including the goal, in that same position in 20 minutes. And you'll hear me say, if you listen enough on the video when they go score their goal, when they start the attack, you'll hear me say they're going to abuse us down this side, and you can hear me like shouting at Firpo. And I just knew it was coming because it was coming. They'd had 3-4 chances.
Show some respect.
Yeah, I see your comment. But by that point, it was just so obvious. We were getting arseholed in that area, man.
I said that as well, because when it was Rodrigo delaying for a pass, wasn't it? He could have put Harrison in on goal, and they ran up.
Yeah.
And the exact same thing happened with Tyler Roberts last season. Can't remember which game it was, but he was on the attack. He lost the ball. They ran up the other end and scored, and it was the exact same thing. Rodrigo gave it away, just laziness, speed of thought. Didn't pass it soon enough. They ran down the entire length of the pitch, and I don't know what Llorente was doing, but.
I went mad. I went mad at Rodrigo, me, and he
was walking around. He was walking everywhere, and you guys know I'm his biggest fan. And I was taking a lot of flack for it, but he was awful.
He looked like he wanted the season to be done.
I think you've got to cut your losses on him, haven't you?
I don't know. Well, actually, there's a player I want to ask you about. What did you think about Joffrey's performance? Because I think he was shocking until that last minute.
Well,
the amount of times we were springing on the counter attack, and he'd get the ball stuck under his feet, and he'd be so slow. He'd have about 3 men catch him up. He was getting paced out. I think it was Dunk. I don't remember who. When you get paced out that badly, and you're meant to be somewhat quick player. But when you're stumbling over the ball and it's happening time and time again,
he's known for being quick.
And the amount of times I saw him and Rodrigo get the ball in a good position, there was a few players making runs, and they do this stupid little flick with the outside of the foot and give it straight to them. It was getting ridiculous, but I do have to concede when you're doing that in the 90th minute, and it's a moment of absolute sheer world-class ability. then it does counteract everything else. But the actual performance from him, I think, was actually quite average.
I think these strikers are one position where you can afford to have a bad game, because if they score a goal or have an assist like that, everybody forgets about how, obviously JT hasn't, but everybody forgets about how, if they've had a bad game, because they come up with that moment and that's what the best strikers do is
give me him over James and Rodrigo any day.
Well, what have I done?
You know what I mean? No?
I don't think he had a bad game.
No, I don't even.
Oh, he did. No, what I'm
He
saying is, if that
wasn't
was
playing
if you reversed them and Rodrigo played the same way Joffy did, and then Rodrigo did the same thing in the last minute, a lot more people would be talking about it than they would because
but there's credit in the bank, though, Indy. This is what we have to remember. Yeah.
No,
I hear what you're saying. There's credit in the bank, though. Now Joffy's done this multiple times now.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Well, he scored in the 90th, 91st, 92nd, 93rd, 94th, 95th minute this season, and he's been involved in 4 of them. So,
which makes me wonder why earlier in the season Bielsa and Marsh are so stubborn to play Dan James up front and not give Joffy more chances. He's the only one who has played his whole youth career as a striker. He's our only number 9. Dan James himself says he's not happy playing there. He doesn't like playing there. We know he can't finish his dinner.
But I get more annoyed. It's not so much James playing at strike that annoys me. It's the fact that you've got one of the fastest players in the league, if not the fastest player in the league, on record, right? And you're
technically
not
slower than Patrick Bamford.
Well, in a sprint, but in a you're not
acceleration
using that
wise.
Player. Yeah, you're not using that player's acceleration to push the attack. You just sticking.
Well, the game I thought we actually did was against Chelsea, where he was playing in the midfield, where he was playing deeper in that 10 role, and he was picking the ball up and he was transitioning on the attacks. But I see what you mean. He seems a bit hesitant to take players on sometimes, James, as well. He seems a bit hesitant.
Yeah, but no, it's not that, bro. He ain't got it. He ain't got it.
He's the quickest, but not the.
He hasn't got it. The only time James beats a man when he's where he can knock it past you and leg it past you
is when it's Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, he ain't got the skill set to be like bringing it down and step up. Honestly, he hasn't got it. I think we've, I guess I was blinkered because I always felt, well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, no good. Bielsa sold on him, tracked him all this time. He'll make this player into a diamond. To be honest, we've wasted 25 million, and that's the truth. We have wasted 25 million on Daniel James. Go on, mate. And he's with Rodrigo, 27 million. They're both gash.
When we signed Dan James, I literally made a video saying, have we overpaid? Everyone commented and saying, oh, you're being too negative, you're being too this, too that. But imagine if we'd have put that money into a midfielder. If we did, because we didn't need more wingers. Like Helder Costa wasn't the best winger in the world, but arguably he's not worse than Dan James.
That's true.
He hasn't been tearing it up.
He scored 5 goals last season, didn't he? For us.
Yeah, he can't get into their team now, though.
But that's another though. I think. Look, I understand the Costa signing. I guess this is a whole new video. We could chat about Victor Orta and his signings and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, there'll be videos to be made on the
on
decisions
everything
that have been made all season.
Well, he looked like he was going to turn into a world-class baller in the first 2 games of the season when we first got promoted. Liverpool and Fulham, he was Helder Costa.
Oh, Costa.
That's what I'm saying. All my mates that didn't watch Leeds until they're in the Prem, they're like, fucking hell, this Helder Costa guy's the best player in the world, man. How'd you get him in your team?
I'm just gonna make myself probably public enemy number 1 in this in the live stream in the comments now, but I'll briefly explain why my thought process is where it's at in terms of safety. So, worst case scenario, I turn out to be right, and I've already accepted it, so I can't be disappointed. Best case, I've gone in with low expectations. We do stay up, and then
where are you going? Where are we going here? What are we talking?
We're going basically.
Come on, slap your cojones,
right? Man. I don't think we get anything at Brentford. I think we get slapped, right?
Okay.
And I think for us to stay up,
Burnley
are going to need to lose both. And I don't think they're going to lose both. I think they're going to have it in them to pick a point up in one of the games.
Okay.
That is my fear. I think that they are capable. I think it's more likely to come against Newcastle because they're at home. But and obviously it's Villa's last home game. I think they'll be up for that. So I think Villa will probably come out on top. Obviously they beat them 3-1 at Burnley as well. So I think it's more likely to come last game, which would be me even more heartbreaking. But I said it all season. I've said it in midweek fix after midweek fix that I don't think we go and get anything at Brentford. I don't think we've got it in us. I really don't. Now you could argue that Brentford are not as strong defensively as Brighton, and if we can create the chances that we did against Brighton against Brentford, we might, the luck might be a bit more on our side. But I don't think we create as many chances against Brentford as we did Brighton.
I think it depends on.
I think Brentford are more of a threat against us than Brighton as well. I
agree with you about them being more of a threat. Because Ivan Toney finishes more chances than Danny Welbeck does. And if we give them the same chances that we gave Brighton, they can definitely punish us. Having said that, our attacking capability, I think, entirely depends on whether Marsh lets our wingers play wide. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to be a repeat of Chelsea and City and Arsenal, where we've got no options. When we played wide against Brighton, that's where all our chances came from.
Yeah.
So if we play wide, there's always chances to be created there. But like you say, they're so much stronger in terms of clinical finishing. They've got players that come off the bench like that. Johan Wisser. To be honest, I've never really heard of him before this season. He scored a few very good goals.
And I know
Christian Eriksen scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
but I know it sounds really bad as well because we should want it more, but I think they'll want it more.
Christian Eriksen, bro.
They're going for that top 10 finish. They're gonna want nothing.
They'll want it
more.
Relegate us. My candy.
This is the thing. Yeah, I don't.
I think they will.
We've gone ahead though to Brentford. What I will say in response to what you're saying, Lewis, and we've moved on swiftly from the Brighton game.
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah. You take control, Lewis. Don't worry about it.
Sorry, mate. I said what I needed to be said.
You did. I'm good. I'm glad you did. I'm joking. But for me, and I hear what you're saying about Brentford. I've said that for time as well. My opinion's changed now, obviously, because I'm trying to remain positive. So I'm like, now we can get something, right? But if Burnley lose tomorrow, right, then it's in our hands. If this football club can't go down to Brentford on the last day, knowing it's in their hands, knowing they need to get 3 points against the team that, yes, they will. I hear what you're saying, but yes,
that's what worries me, man. Exactly.
Yeah.
What
I hear. Let me finish. I hear what you're saying, and I get Brentford up, but there's just that. Okay, they say they're up for it because of the Thomas Frank thing and all that sort of stuff. But if there's a 50-50 ball to be won, Leeds have to win that ball. If there's it's up in the air, Leeds have to win that header because their Premier League survival depends on it. And I just think, I know Leeds' history and all that sort of stuff, but I think if Burnley get beat tomorrow, we stay up. I think there isn't a scenario where we can't beat Brentford away.
So tell me the last time. That's what I mean. But tell me the last time Leeds had a must-win game with all the pressure riding on this one game for the most positive outcome, and we won it. Where it mattered, like it's life or death situation.
Would you count Swansea?
No, because that one.
Yeah. No, why wouldn't you count Swansea? Yeah, let's count Swansea.
Fulham, Swansea.
It wasn't done.
Point against Brighton last week, and I count that as well.
But then there was Swansea, and then there was also
who was that fraudulent Yorkshire team?
Barnsley.
We beat them. Barnsley.
We won the league. We won
that
the
was
league by 10 points. So it wasn't. It what? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's after though. You're changing the context.
No, we're not. I'm not. I'm saying that it rides on one.
Okay,
game.
that's like this riding on the one game against Brentford, and then it turns out that and we win it. Okay, all right. Let's say but then let's say we beat Brentford and Burnley happened to lose both games, and then you're suddenly like, oh well, it's no longer a must-win because Burnley lost. You didn't know that at the time of those games happening.
Well, so they're playing at the same time, so that would never be a situation. I'm basically saying
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Whenever we've got a game that everything rides on it, the pressure gets to them, man. That's what I'm worried about. If they go to Brentford knowing they need to win, it ain't going to happen.
So coming off what your points are then, and you said it as well, Joe, about the players are going to have to want it, the players are going to have to battle for everything. Do you think that changes the lineup? Because somebody like Rodrigo is not going to battle as hard. If you put Stab Greenwood in there instead of Rodrigo, he's going to absolutely work his pan out and battle as hard as he can. You've seen him smashing people trying to get the ball back, Greenwood, when he's come on, because he's raring for his chance to go. Do you play players like that who are maybe a little bit less talented, but more up for it on a final game of the season, or do you go with your most talented players?
Well, this is where you could really do with a Luke Ayling, you know, a guy who's tried and trusted, done it before. Bamford, is he going to be fit? That's the big one.
Yeah, I'd start Bamford and drop
If
him.
Bamford can start, oh man, Bamford will fight his cojones off and he will do the business. If Bamford starts, Bamford scores.
Yeah, he'd have that fight in him, but would he have the fitness?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's got the sauce. Yeah.
I don't know.
If Bamford starts, Bamford scores. He's too good.
Mate, I hope to God we're sat here in a week and everything I've said in the stream is wrong.
This is European pedigree footballer. They've got Christian Eriksen. We've got Patrick Bamford.
Slow down with these Patrick Bamford takes, man.
He's that good. I'm telling you.
Not that good. He's not that good.
That Twitter account.
He is. You've seen it when he came back for half a game. You wonder why we looked all right when Mosh first came in and we started playing decent-ish football. It's because Bamford was there. And then he got injured again and everything went Pete Tong. He
definitely helps our system and our team. And even we know already that that's going to help Marsh, because when that first half against Norwich and the little time that he played against Wolves, he was helping it stick up top and actually playing balls.
He's not just good for himself, he makes everyone around him better.
He gets you up the pitch. He's like an anchor point to play off with your attackers. And I think that makes a big difference. Whether he's fit or not enough to do it, then. Can
you all see Burnley losing both?
Yeah.
It's possible, yeah. Because, like you said.
All right, do you think it'll happen? I'll rephrase it. Do you think?
Yeah,
I think they'll get a point.
Right.
Okay. I'm telling you, if we win against Brentford, we're up, because Everton are not picking up more than 2 more points, or they're not picking up 2 points.
I don't see that. I see Everton again. Is it Palace they've got tomorrow night?
Yeah. If they don't win that, by the way,
that's their last chance to get. Yeah, that's their last chance to get points. I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. They're not going to Emirates and getting anything. They're not.
No,
they're not.
So that's like, I'm so negative. Just the thought of going to Brentford and getting a result does not compute in my head. I do not see
I just hope that we don't
any way we get I just in my head I can't. I have no vision. No,
that's where you're wrong.
All I see thinking of Brentford away is 2-0 down in 10 minutes. That's all I see.
Oh, not on the final day.
I'm sorry, but that's
all I see is Senior Firpo smashing it into the top corner off the crossbar. That's all I see.
You don't though.
I do.
See it. You don't.
I do.
You don't.
I do.
Lewis, what you were saying before about teams at the bottom don't string results like that together until they do. That's what I was saying the other week as well about Burnley. Like, it has to stop at some point. So the fact that they won 3 in a row, like, it's almost.
But I don't know where Lewis is getting that from. The teams at the bottom always string things together.
Not to the point where it goes not to the point where it goes from expecting teams to finish on high 20 points to 40 points.
Yeah,
it has to stop somewhere, doesn't it? They had the new manager bounce for 3 games and they won 3 in a row. They went to Spurs and I think they played quite well there, to be honest. But
this is the thing, though.
Could have been won all that.
Yeah, but it's recency bias, though, isn't it, Max? Because people will say, like, all I've heard all week, and I hear it, is, you see how good they were at Spurs. Forgetting that the week before they got slapped 3-0 at home by Villa. Do you know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. It's recency. And listen, I know I'm.
It showed a bit of.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is, it's like all of a sudden they're great again. I understand it. It's how football it works, and I'm probably like devaluing them more than what I should. But I don't know. I'm not convinced Burnley get anything. You know?
Well, I mean, we looked good against City in the first half, and then went and shat the bed against Chelsea. So everything can change in a few days.
I think if Burnley get anything, it's against Newcastle, because Villa destroyed them the other week. And so obviously they know they have the tools to it, but we've also got the advantage of the fact that it was so recent. So it's not like they've had a season, half a season between games. It was like 2 weeks ago, so they know exactly what to do to beat them because they've just done it.
With it being Villa's last home game of the season as well, I just think
exactly. And a lot of these players as well under Gerrard, they're playing for their positions next season under Gerrard.
Just like Coutinho, like
man,
it's all going to be.
But so are they at Newcastle. Everyone's
Exactly.
playing for their position at Newcastle.
Someone's just mentioned this in the chat as well. Big shout out, Tom. I did a watch along for that game. Callum Wilson ripped it up against Arsenal. Ripped it up. And whoever plays at the back for Burnley, I know at the minute they've got issues. There's no Tarkowski, there's no Ben Mee. I know Collins has been smashing it. I know Research won, by the way. 3-1, sorry. Yeah, my bad, mate. He still lost, though, didn't you, bro? My man's a Burnley fan. And he tells me that they might have them back. But Callum Wilson, I think, tears it up against them. Alan St. Maximan. Yeah, I don't know. I think
they've got the exact same problems at the back as well, by the way.
Yeah.
They've had that Branthwaite sent off, and they already had a couple of centre-backs out, didn't they? So
yeah.
How many points are Everton ahead of Burnley?
Or two.
No, they're 1 point ahead of us, 2 ahead of Burnley.
It's 34, 35, 36.
It's 1-1-1, and they're going to be calling 9-1-1 in a few days. So put it that way.
That is the only way I view us staying up is Burnley losing both, because I'm just so not.
It's a very high possibility, though.
It is, and that Newcastle comment's given me a bit of hope. But just because it's at Burnley, I just think like it's going to be that game where they're just going to play like absolute knobhead.
This is the thing, though, right? Let's say they play for that point, though, Lewis. If they lose Thursday, then that's when it comes back to us. We have
Chris
to
Wood
go
sends them down.
and get some.
This is what I'm. If we have to go and get a result at Brentford, if we have to, which
we lose.
We do.
We lose.
We do anyway. Really, like there's even if
Pontus will make an error.
By the way, there's an ex-Leeds player on every team in this. Not Burnley, but you've got Chris Wood who could send him down. Pontus Janssen, Fabian Delph, Eddie Nketiah for Arsenal on thingy. Yeah. Charlie Taylor. There's Leeds players.
Gary McAllister for Villa.
On goals from
just
all
on that, yeah. What do we make to? Because I keep hearing this and seeing it as well on social media as well, specifically. This rhetoric that people think Steven Gerrard's going to rest players against Burnley so he can win Liverpool, the league, and beat City. Like, please, do any of you believe that? Like, or because I think it's absolute codswallop. Like, that's not good.
Well, look, I'll put it this way. You said Brentford will be fighting for their lives against us to get top 10. Villa will be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
If there's so much fight and desire, apparently, for this illustrious top 10 spot, then that's exactly what Villa are.
Let me just say something, right? If we play how we played against Brighton in that first half, and we give Brentford the chances we gave Brighton, we will be 4-0 down in 25 minutes. Because I'm
telling you, a team does not pull it back in the last minute like that. You do not see scenes like that for a team that does not pull it through. For any team that wins the league, they have these games where they're not great, everything's against them, and they're pulling off these last minute winners. They're just stealing points. They're clutching points from the jaws of defeat. We've done that more than anyone apart from City.
We were fortunate to be in a position where we could nick that.
You're damn right, but you got to have fortune. You got to have fortune. How many games have we had this? How many games have we had this season where other teams have been fortunate against us?
It's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant.
The performance was shite. We gave them plenty of chances where Brentford will score those goals if we give them chances. And if we play like that, it don't matter. You can argue the toss about fortune and all this. The game went how the game went, right? But if we play how we played against Brighton that first half against Brentford and give Brentford the chances we gave Brighton, we're 4-0 down in 25 minutes, it's game done. And if we have to go there with all the pressure, the season riding on it, to stay in the Premier League, to win, to draw, whatever it is, we need a result, the Reds will go. Because in my head, I just don't imagine them having that bottle to win the game we need to win. I haven't seen us do it. I haven't seen us get the result in that game where we need it. We
Yeah,
have
it's
had
perfect
many of
time
them
for you to
games.
see it.
Of course, and I'd absolutely love to be wrong. I really would. I'd love us to go to Brentford and slap them all over the shop. Come away with a 3-0 win. We're never a worry. We're safe. Burnley are down, Everton are down, whatever. But
didn't we do it in 2003?
Yeah, Arsenal.
Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, how many years ago? Sir?
So I was just thinking of other times when we've been on the verge of relegation and done it, and
I'm talking even games where we might need it to get into the playoffs or to get promoted, or just the game. I'm talking those clutch games where the result is decided after the game. We're not talking Swansea where games where.
Well, Bristol Rovers, obviously,
that, yeah.
Beckford,
Yeah.
but look, the team's moved on from them.
Exactly.
Vecchio, Millwall.
We have to. Look, you have to back them. I understand. So, do you believe like the mentality there is just not there? Because I know, like Connor mentioned,
Forest away.
But we still won the league that year.
We won the league.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying the mentality before that game, even though really it wasn't, but the mentality before that game was, we need to win this game. I remember it, and we bottled it completely.
Okay, but the mentality going into the next game against Brentford is we can't afford to lose. We have to turn this around, and we picked up a point.
But I think it changes for everyone at some point, because teams like Watford. How did Watford get to an FA Cup final if not for a bit of good fortune and a bit of winning? Do you know what I mean? And when Wigan won the FA Cup final, like your luck does change at some point. So you said this already, why can't it be this? Why can't it be this weekend?
Seeing how Burnley play tomorrow might ease my mind a bit. Anyone think Brentford will leave?
End of day, right?
I'm not saying Brentford are the best thing since sliced bread. I'm just saying it's genuinely one of the last teams I would want to play in a game like that.
Well, they've created this fake rivalry as well, haven't they? Where they it's coming back to bite us on the arse that we sang that song.
This is what I mean. Is it fake because it's been reciprocated and now they've got that? You know, it's like a tangent.
Has it been reciprocated?
Yeah. Bro, Liam Cooper and Dallas were holding the trophy, singing Thomas.
Oh, singing a song, mate. But we've got flipping right. Oh, what? We got Brentford, we got Brighton, we've got Villa, we've got Chelsea, we've got Arsenal. We got these with everyone, man. Who the hell? Brentford
so that's what we're saying, though.
The
fans don't think it's a rivalry.
No,
it's something that the players.
No, the Brentford fans do. The Leeds fans don't.
Yeah, but I think on the day that doesn't matter. I think what it matters is to the Brentford players. They're riled up by the fact that our players did that to them, and they took the mick a bit. And so
spot on. This is what I'm saying. Like,
but they took the mick out of us. We should be riled up at them.
Yeah, but I just don't see
Flipping
it, man.
Mopai running around and who's
Brentford have no pressure. Brentford have no pressure on that game. If they lose, they lose. But
this is what I'm saying.
You just said they're going to be going for top half of the table and they're going to want it more.
So this is what I'm saying, Lewis.
More than for us to go down. They'll go for it, man. They'll go all out for it.
And we'll want nothing more than for us to stay up.
Huh?
I don't see it.
We'll want nothing more than for us to stay up.
I'll give you an example, right?
The
second half against Brighton.
Right.
They took their foot off.
Yeah.
Or did we rip their foot?
No. You ask my mate Sean, he'll tell you.
First 15 minutes, they didn't want it, man.
I kept saying to my mate, I said, it's like they're letting us in here. Cucurella in that second half, he was a different player. You watch that Joffrey chance as well. The guy hardly tries to make a challenge. I will say that much, I'm not trying to discredit Joffrey's goal.
No, he puts him on the floor, man.
No, that was Dunk. That was Dunk. Cucurella, for me,
Cucurella
was a totally different player in the second half. And I
thought he actually played well in the second half.
I kept saying to my pal Sean, and it's almost as if they're like letting us back in here. Because even Graham Potter switched it up. Why? Why didn't he go for the kill? I don't know. Is it a mentality thing? Because
are Brentford going to have a stronger desire to relegate us than Brighton did? No,
this is the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Brighton hate us
bro,
just as much.
come on, Matt. James, sometimes you do say some stuff, bro.
Brighton can't stand us. We basically shat on them when we were trying to
There's
get Ben White.
nothing recent. Like,
Brighton can't stand us as much as all the other
Brighton,
teams can't stand us.
Brighton cannot stand us, by the way. I know a guy called Ryan who works at the Seagulls Social, and we spoke about this, and he says, "Oh, imagine if we're the team to take you down, considering everything that's happened between the clubs." For me, I'm like, but for him, that was real.
No, Brighton can't stand us.
Oh my God! Right, the game we needed to win to have any chance of still finishing top 2 this season, we didn't go up. Who was it against, and where was it?
It was Wigan at Elland Road.
No.
You talking about Brentford at Recruitment Park?
No, but we were already out of it. It wouldn't have made a difference.
No, it wasn't, because if we.
But the last time we were down there, it was 1-1, when we had to win, because Kiko made that howler that Watkins, I think, scored from, and then we scored.
I thought we lost 2-0.
We did lose 2-0. We did lose 2-0.
Got a point,
it was no, we did get a point against Brentford when that was when we went up. That was when Cooper scored the 1-1.
When was it then? When
the 1-1 was after Forest. That was the one after Forest.
Made the error,
we conceded a corner and then we scored the corner.
But
the year before, when we did, it was our last chance to stay up. We did lose 2-0.
Was Pablo not crying? No, they're thinking of the season we went up. I'm talking the season we didn't go up.
The one where we didn't go up, we lost to them 2-0.
This is the one. So we lose to Forest in that must-win game. We then have to go to Brentford, where we never win, we never do well, and Kiko makes an error in the first minute near enough to I can't even remember who it is that scores. Then Liam Cooper gets the equaliser. See, the last time
I said this like 15 minutes ago, man.
That's what I said.
No, but the season
Lewis
before...
is talking about some 7-0 loss about 50 years ago.
No. He's talking about when we needed to... It was our last chance to stay up.
It was the last chance to get top 2.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference in the end anyway, but it was our last chance at the time.
Yeah.
Big shout out Neil, by the way, on the For the Love of Paul McGrath.
So that's just in my head.
Aston Villa podcast. Sorry, am I? I just want to shout out Neil, Villa fan. Make sure you check him out for all your Aston Villa content. He's been on the Premier League preview and review many a time. Hopefully, Villa do get us that result tomorrow against Burnley. Up to Villa. Jack
0-0 half time, by the way. In Seville. 0-0.
Can't really say Grealish anymore, is it? Who would they go to now? Who's they go
real
to?
deal.
What's it? Jacob Ramsey? Did that sound?
Oh no, it's Tyrone Mings.
Is he Mings? Yeah, was it Scouse? Right. So Gabriel Bonlahor, don't get me started on him. Anyway, So I mean, we've gone on a mad tangent. This is what happens when Lewis comes, because he starts coming with his supercomputer brain and that. He's been doing mathematics all week, working out about 100 different permutations, don't you, man?
My mind's gone completely. Who the hell have we just played? Why is my mind gone so blank?
Brighton.
Yes. He came out with his 72 possibilities.
72 possibilities, and there are only 28 when we stayed up. But I'm sure that's a lot different now, because obviously Burnley didn't get a result, and neither did Everton.
There was something I noticed, by the way, that I was going to mention from the end of the Brighton game. As all the players, because it's the last game of the season, were obviously staying out on the pitch to applaud the fans and everything. I noticed that Rodrigo tried to go down the tunnel and was turned around and pushed back out onto the pitch to clap everyone. So I don't know. Yeah, it's good. It's good that the staff and the club will do that to say no. You appreciate that we've got the best fans in the league. Go back out there but it looked like to me he was going down the tunnel and then spoke to someone, turned around and went back out onto the pitch again. And
all right. Well, speaking of the fans, actually, we brushed over it before. You said
let's do it. Before we do that, JT. Before we do that, I just want to respond to Max on the Rodrigo thing. I hear you, and he should be clapping him. What I will say, though, and I guess you folks, I don't know if you would have heard it, Max, because you're in the cheese wedge, but I guess Lewis would have. But when Rodrigo made a 5-yard pass into Firpo, and the crowd went, "Way!" Now, as much as I didn't want Rodrigo on the pitch because I was fuming with his performance at this point, I think mocking someone for making a 5-yard pass correctly was a bit harsh, because I remember fans doing it to Bamford before Preston. I think you were at that game as well, Lewis, in the warm-up, and he was hitting the target, and people
away.
were going,
what angered me more, well, I'm maybe not angered, what frustrated me more is 81st minute, we're 1-0 down, right? All of a sudden, Radrizzani, this is on you, sack of the board, etc., etc., etc. Now, I ain't going to say whether I agree or disagree, because it don't really matter.
Oh, because he. Oh, look at this, man.
You know why, Lewis? You stay on that fence.
In the club
you stay on that fence.
Yeah.
No, the club have made so many. They have made so many gosh decisions this season. But I'm saying ultimately, it don't really matter whether I agree or disagree. What matters is it's 81st minute. We're 1-0 down. You've got 9, probably 10, probably 12, whatever minutes left added time, and you start with that. Why? Is that good for the players? Is that what they want to hear? No.
I think everybody.
So you're against it.
This is our last chance to.
No, do you know what? Fine. No, I'm not against it.
At
the time, what was the need?
All right. I just thought that everybody thought, right, this is our last home game of the season. We're 1-0 down, and I think everybody thought, and I did as well. I think everybody thought we're down. We're going down because we looked like we weren't going to get anything from the game. It looked like we were going down. Last 10 minutes of the last home game is probably the only, well, it is the only chance that anybody will actually have to say anything to the board. And also, I think it's crowds, though, isn't it? When somebody starts something like that, people chant because everybody else is chanting a lot of the time. You'll get 10-year-old kids chanting "sack the board" and they don't really even know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I was the one telling them, going, "Yeah, you still." I was joking, but what I will say, right, for me, this is how it happened in my head. You guys might not agree. The substitutions were made of Fairport and Click for Strauch and Greenwood. In response to that, right, because I wrote it in my notes. In response to that, the crowd went, Marcelo Bielsa.
You should never be taking Firpo off in the
subs. Right, I agree with you, I agree. But anyway, Strout went and scored, didn't he? So it is what it is. So then in response to that, the cop then said, I guess those that aren't, like, say, Marcelo Bielsa, that's out of order, said, Radrizzani, this is on you, as a way to say, no, forget Bielsa, this is on him. And then the whole ground went, sack the board, sack the board, sack the board. And that's how it happened in my head.
Was it the whole ground? Because it didn't seem like that to me. I just thought people
Bielsa for?
Just to chant because
were we having a joke? Were we 1-0 down with 10 minutes to go?
I don't think it was tongue in cheek.
I think it was to say, like,
we missed the good
differences
time.
For his head.
Yeah. For me, it was, this manager's a clown making these substitutions. Marcelo Bielsa, you should have never sacked him. That's what it was to me.
But then I thought you were saying it was something, the subs thing was something to do with Bielsa. That's what I thought.
No, I made poor subs. The crowd went Marcelo Bielsa, as in this guy's rubbish.
The thing is, as well, you can have thousands of people chanting the same thing, but they might all have different reasons. So, like, I might think, I'll chant Marcelo Bielsa because I think we should have never sacked him, and clearly this hasn't worked well enough to get us clear. So, like, we should have never sacked him in the first place. But I don't hate Jesse Marsh. But you know what I mean? But somebody else might think, I hate Jesse Marsh, he's terrible, I want Bielsa back. So they're chanting it for that reason. Do you know what I mean? Everybody chanting the same thing, different reasons.
I mean, you could even argue that chanting that is what spurred them on. Maybe they all thought, nah, fuck this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not letting it go down this path. But I don't think.
Fuck Bielsa, man. Fuck that guy. I'm gonna.
Maybe they thought, maybe we'll start playing like we're under Bielsa.
No, exactly. I think there was a little bit of that in the second half.
I mean, what the hell happened with Stroik, man? He was down for about 5 minutes before then. I hope he's not injured.
let's chat though, right? So I want obviously we've established Lewis, right? Lewis has got splinters, yeah. Lewis has no opinion either.
Even
way
though he's
about-
against it, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't
anger
want
the
to.
fans.
He
Because
doesn't
he's a
want to-
celebrity.
I have
He's a
an
celebrity
opinion.
round those parts. You see.
I have an
Come
opinion.
for.
I have an opinion, and it is that I tend to agree that
just
more or
don't
less
go, bro.
every single decision.
tend
this
to
season-
agree.
I don't need to, honestly, bro. Don't
No, I'm saying it. I'm
tend
saying it
to
because I want
agree
to
that
say
they're
it.
wrong.
Go on, then,
More or
you
less
say it,
every
Sean.
single decision that's been made this season has been shite, and 75% has contributed to the position we're in. Not signing anyone in January.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
All the stuff behind the scenes with like cryptocurrency stuff and NFTs, even small stuff like that, like the
What about not paying your fans?
Yeah, but you're moving
Yeah,
the goalposts now,
not
mate. It was a
paying
simple
fans
question.
for
Was what
freelance-
the fans did right or wrong?
not
You know,
paying
but yeah,
fans for
sure, we all
freelance
think
work.
the board have made mistakes here, but was what the fans did right or wrong?
Start of the season giving random celebrities shirts.
Look at this, man. He's ducking and diving, man.
I
Prime Muhammad
genuinely-
Ali over here.
I didn't pay attention. What do you say? Say it again.
I said you're moving the goalposts. You're talking about the board. We all know the board made mistakes. We all know the board are probably more culpable than anyone for the position we're in. Question is, was what the fans did right or wrong? In chanting against.
In the moment, wrong. Full time.
So
if
it
we
was
lost that
wrong.
game-
So wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my
So
opinion.
we got the answer.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
that
Max.
that was never. If you'd have asked me that 10 minutes ago, I'd have still. It'd have been the same thing. There was never. It's not a touchy subject. I just think there's. If you've got 10, 12
Your
minutes
arsehole
left
will
of
be
the
if you
game,
don't get off that post, mate.
if you've got 12 minutes left of the game, why are you making it? Why are you turning the atmosphere toxic? What's the point?
No, that's why I
No,
agree.
no, no,
That's
no,
what
no.
I was
No,
saying.
no, no, no. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. And the reason I'll say this is what we were being served on the football field, right, by the manager that this board have put in place was the reason it went toxic. If we're winning that game 3-0, that chant's not happening.
But voice it at full time if we've lost the game. Fair enough.
Because at full time, I'm out. See you later. See you next season, you washouts. Do you know what I mean? This is where my head was at. I genuinely put in my notes, right? I genuinely put in my notes, sack the board chance. And then afterwards, I was like, F the lot of them, get in the bin. This is what on my notes as I'm making so that I know where I am in the game. And I was done. But that's how quick, goals change games, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and David, of course I was chanting for Bielsa. Of course I would. You give me every opportunity to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, but come on. You need to pull
agree.
the last minute clutch out of your ass. You need to conjure something up to stay up. You shouldn't be chanting.
So
F
is
the
that your
board,
opinion
F
then?
this.
So do you feel that by the fans singing sack the board, that can have a detrimental effect?
You're
to
damn
what went
right
on
it's
in
going to
the-
have a detrimental effect.
So explain to me why we got a goal then.
We got a goal from good fortune
After
and
the
a piece
chant.
of
After the
majesty.
chant.
That's nothing to do with the chant. That's to
No,
do
so
with
this is what I'm
one
saying.
piece
Wait.
of elite
1 minute it
skill.
has a detrimental effect,
Can,
but then we
yeah, of course
score
it can
after
do.
it. So what is it? We score.
Of course
after
it can do. What? That everyone's toxic and they're fighting against each other and then it's causing more divide and then there's no...
That always happens, man, doesn't it?
It happens when clubs are in a demise.
I think the songs that the fans are singing have less of an effect on the players than you probably think, especially if it's something aimed at the board, because it's not aimed at the players. It's not abuse to the players. They're not getting any abuse, are they? It's aiming abuse at the board who haven't just added to the squad that they play in. So I think the players themselves actually probably wouldn't be affected by something like that. Now, the Marcelo Bielsa chant, I think, is one of those where he's such now a club legend that his name will be chanted for years to come, even when a manager is doing well. And it won't be a slight on the manager. It won't be an insult. It'll be, this is a legendary manager and look what he did for us. Like you chant about legendary players.
Yeah,
No, the Marcelo Bielsa one's fine.
It'd have been like Bielsa getting offended at us chanting "One Don Revy." Like it makes no sense. Like if you've got a good manager, no matter if they won the championship or the Champions League, like.
Sorry, it's right. It's right. No,
maybe he did. Yeah. All right. If you're saying sack the board, is that not indirectly slagging off the player?
He actually scored, yeah. He did that and turned around to me and went, "That's because you did that."
Goodness me.
Oh god, man, it's funny. It's funny. I love it. I love this though. I love this show. It's different opinions.
They are. Look, I said I mentioned briefly earlier that that you can't rule it out completely. That some players might have thought, right, this is proper shit. We need to pull his fingers out of his ass. But I don't think that's what happened. To be honest,
Need to pull your fingers out of his ass.
Yeah. Have you never heard that phrase, lad?
Yeah.
They'll pull your finger out your. Why are they pulling it out of his ass? The hell are you? That's a bit weird. I mean, no wonder Joffrey scored. He's probably quite a lot lighter if they've. Yeah, there's no more stuff on there. You went from coming out with some of the weirdest words I've ever heard to try and not get him demonetized to talking about people shoving fingers up holes.
All right, Joe. Come on, Joe. Let's move on.
Stop. With the board thing, I think like 2 years ago they were like the best owners we've ever had, and they obviously have been so much better than some of our previous owners because our previous owners, the standard was so bad. And obviously this season, they've been terrible for not investing in us. Last season, they invested in us. They got what they thought were good signings in, and I think fair enough. This season, the signings haven't worked. They haven't signed players in January, whatever. They should have done. But what other way do fans express their disapproval of what the board have done than chanting at the game? Because if you put stuff on Twitter, and we all see Twitter, the Radrizzani, he's not going to care, is he, about that?
He does.
But I think but I think it's more powerful and strength in numbers to say, look, we're not happy with it. And it wasn't just sack the board, it was Radrizzani is a wanker, Orta is a wanker. Kinnear didn't get anything, to be fair. But, so they got that abuse sort of, but it's a football chant, so there's not really any chance of everyone saying, we should have signed central midfielder this season.
Yeah, but do you want to know the sad reality of the matter is?
Please, Max, please start that. Please start that.
He's been seeing them TikToks, Max. He's been seeing them.
Why did you not sign Rodrigo de Paul?
Rodrigo de Paul.
But you know what I mean? It's hard. You can't articulate anything more than calling someone a name,
no, you can't. But unfortunately, the sad fact of the matter is, and we found it out with the Super League madness that went on last year, I'm afraid you can chant what you want of them. They can be sat right there. That does not affect them one bit. If you think Radrizzani lost a second of sleep over the chants aimed his way, then you are sorely mistaken. The only one way that they're going to be affected, that anyone could make a stand, is something that would never happen, and that's people returning their season tickets, people not turning up, not buying merchandise, and hurting their pockets, because that's the only way that anyone would listen to anything, because that's the modern game, unfortunately.
Well, I'm not saying that he's going to go home and cry at night after it. What I'm saying is that he's never really had abuse from the fans chanting at him or Orta.
Yeah, and so I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think Orta's a bad person. I think Bates, for example, would not have lost a second of sleep until he started losing money. Then he paid attention.
Yeah.
Bads, I don't think he's a bad. He does get a lot of abuse and a lot of flack, and people genuinely hate him. And I think, in my opinion, at least, I don't think that's warranted. I think he's got
short-term memories, haven't they?
Yeah, I think he's got it horribly, horribly wrong this season. The board in general, not just with not investing, just with all the PR. Like giving shirts to random celebrities before the season, all the cryptocurrency, all the NFTs, all these things, like trying to use fans getting money, all this, all season. Even the shirts at Arsenal, I know the intentions were good, but it just doesn't go right with it. Like all these things. So anyway, I think he has gone home. I think he will have gone home, or even just behind the scenes in general, and giving it thought. I don't think he's that much of an arsehole to not even acknowledge.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's at least made him think, because he's never had public discourse around it much 100%. That the crowd are actually chanting at him. So he must then think, oh, well, okay, so the fan base aren't happy with me. And like on Twitter, everybody knows that you get a vocal minority of people who are very negative, because you don't get like, if you're angry, someone might comment something. If you're happy with it, you don't say anything at all.
How much of what's happening is Radrizzani, and how much of it is Prag Mahath, however you pronounce his name? How much of it is the 49ers? Because if you're telling me they're not pulling some strings behind the scenes,
No, it's him. It's him.
But he's got the majority share, so he has the final say on the money, which is the thing.
they are going to take it off him. So they're telling him, okay, you need to do this and this. If you think they didn't, they were probably one of the driving forces behind Marsh coming in. Was probably the
James, if he didn't care about what the fans thought of him and the situation at the club, he wouldn't. And I know, so even I said that
he cares a bit,
like,
but
I know, but I wouldn't even say a bit. I think he cares a lot because he can't stop himself replying to people on Twitter and stuff. It's almost like he's desperate for people to like him and support what he's doing, and he's got it horribly, horribly wrong. I think he has got good intentions. I think he does care about the club. He does care about one of the first things he did was buy the ground back. Like, he heard what the fans wanted. People do have short.
But that's still his, isn't it?
Of course,
the ground he owns.
But yes, of
it's
course.
Not ours.
It's what he will have been taught. The club will have said. We like.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I do.
People have got short memories, but this season it's a write-off, right? There's no matter how many nice replies he gives to people, no matter whatever. And we need to stay up, and we need to completely reevaluate how we manage next season. But
then it goes back to the last thing. This is the year that the 49ers have had more control over the club than ever, and this just happens to also be the year that's coincided with the board going out of favor.
I'm gonna say my bit if that's all right. Like the basically, Rad, was after getting rid, I reckon, this summer. He won't be able to now because it's in a shit show, but it was after getting rid and he wanted to spend as little as possible. That's why they kept Bielsa in. And then obviously when they thought it was going tits up, they had to make a change. The change they made wrong. But anyway, on Rad Razani, for me, I agree. Like there is loads of positives that he's done. Even just going to Elland Road now, as an experience, is 10 times better than it ever was. Yeah. Like when I take my son for the first time,
smart man.
I'm going to be able to go and say, he's your stone at Billy. You know what I mean? He is Centenary Square. All them little things make it a better experience on match day. You know, the Foster's fan zone, all that sort of stuff. Very smart man, like you say. So he's done all this stuff. He's reconnected. I think Bielsa has a big, big part to play in all this, by the way. But a lot of that was already done before Bielsa came in. But to say that he cares, when money's involved, he don't give two hoots. Owners don't give two hoots. Let's not forget, he took the club to Myanmar. Right? Because it was a money-making thing for him. But I do also agree with Lewis in that he does want to be loved by the fan, because we only have to look at how quick them people that weren't paid by the club were paid as soon as it was out there that the club had done them dirty. Because they were getting contacted. They knew they'd not paid them before this. So why all of a sudden...
That's PR. That's business PR.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Why weren't we paying them before that? Why did it have to come out there? Why did it have to come out there? Why aren't we doing right by them anyway? Why has it had to come out in a big, massive thing? And then you've got the money. It's not as if they're short of cash. And what we need to remember is as well, Rad Razani is very, very close to what's going on, because Leeds United and people might not want to hear it. But you can't tell me clubs like Liverpool, Man United, all these, they're guys. John W. Henry's not on Twitter like checking tweets like how Rad Razani is, you know what I mean? John W. Henry's not contacting Anfield Agenda asking him to do videos like he might have done with some people. You know what I mean? Rad Razani's probably too close to what's going on.
Yeah, well, it's because of how he's made his money. He's very in tune with the social world. He made 11 Sports. He made a whole sports online
the one that bought La Liga and crashed and burned.
He knows his tech.
No, he's massive. He's just massive on media, and he whether it's been a success or not.
So you're backing out what? So you're saying he's done really well then. So we're not. What I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying about his career, about how he's made his money. Although I'm sure his dad.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why he is on social media and doing those things, because he recognizes that's a way of building rapport.
It's been a nightmare though, hasn't it? Like you look at the NFTs, all that.
I forgot 11 Sports were a thing, to be fair.
You know what I mean?
No, the NFTs thing's different. That's just everyone's doing it, even people that aren't football clubs. The whole there's so many scams going on.
But that's misreading the room. That's also a thing when they just need to read the room. Like, I don't understand why they don't, like with the badge that they did, why didn't they ask fans? Because it said over 250 people consulted or something. But that must have been bollocks.
It was live.
And so why don't they, when they say, look, we're thinking of putting out this LUFC Supporters Trust, some, I don't know, I'd like general content creators, because they get comments on all the videos, so they have quite an idea of how people feel about stuff. Why can't they put the feelers out there and say, look, we're thinking of doing some NFTs for this charity thing. What do you think? And I think most people would say, is it the right message to send in? Like,
because you can't ask the rule of any kind of business or any kind of anything. You never ask the audience. If you ask the audience or you ask people that your consumer base, your fan base, if you ask them to direct you in any way, shape, or form, you've already failed, and you will fail. As a leader, you have to educate them on what they want.
Instead, commission Leeds-based artists, graphic designers to design you whatever, not NFTs, just art designs, right? Sell them through the club. 50% of the sales go to the Ukraine charity, and 50% goes.
Well, one really good thing that they did was they got Gabby Wood doing all of the program things. That stuff like that, that's really good. Like local artist does pictures of all the players and stuff. They've seen her on Twitter and they thought, right, okay, well, I'm obviously paying her to have her.
Yeah, but they were doing this with other people and not paying them though. Like Matt Abbott with the poem and that.
Yeah, there were loads. Well,
no, look, he's done good things, and I don't want people to think I'm slagging off. I don't hate any man, no matter what you've done. I mean, you see a slight glimpse of their personality or whatever when they're in a profession, whether it's a manager or a player or whatever. I don't hate any man, and I don't criticize any man for doing whatever they want to do to make their money. He's a smart businessman. He's done a lot of great things for the community, for the club, for the game of football as a whole. He's done a lot of good things. He's a smart man. He's a wise thinking man, and he's made mistakes. He's made mistakes this year. How much of that was down to him? How much of that was down to pressure from other stakeholders? We will never know. And how much full control he actually has over the situation. Again, we don't know. I think he made a big mistake with Bielsa, sacking him in the way he did, and I will never be happy or comfortable in the manner of which it happened. But I don't think that anyone should be leveled such abuse at, especially, like you say, with the short-term memory, which, again, you could say is karma because he showed short memory with Bielsa. But,
abuse by saying sack the board?
No, not abuse by saying sack the board, but some of the other stuff I've seen about Radrizzani and Orta, especially circulating online. Not saying sack the board. That's different. That's just something I think is a bit toxic. That's harmless, really, in terms of like people actually going and abusing him and his family and whatever.
I think we all agree then, don't we, that basically he's not a horrendous person. He's the best owner we've had in years. Yeah. He's done some stuff that's questionable. Obviously, because nobody makes that much money without doing some stuff that's questionable.
Everyone makes mistakes. We're all human. We've probably made 5 mistakes today each.
Yeah, so I think what we all agree on is that the mistakes that he's made, too many of them have come this season.
Yeah.
And like Joe, you hit the nail on the head. They said in January, basically, like you said, he was going to sell the club, wasn't he? Or give his majority share to the 49ers. And so, like you said, he didn't want to spend the money. So they said, well, we said it last week, didn't we, on the last midweek fix, that he was papering over the cracks, Bielsa. Yeah. And so they relied on Bielsa and said he's got the players to stay up because of what he did last season. And they thought, right, well, we don't need to sign anyone. And then they sacked him the next month. When in the whole time that since Bielsa, it always seemed like every decision was calculated, and that we had owners and the board who would say, right, we want to invest in the youth, we're bringing in players. It looked like there was a plan for everything until they said, right, we're not making any signings in January because we've got Bielsa, and then sacked him the next month. And that, I think, is the start of everyone saying, maybe the board aren't as good as we thought they were. Maybe it's just Bielsa was papering over those cracks. So I think we all agree that it's just this season that the board have just made a lot of mistakes.
And ultimately, if we stay up on the head, most of it will probably just maybe not be forgotten, but kind of brushed under the carpet. But if
the board will feel vindicated, Lewis. They'll say, well, we told you so. And we can't really argue. You can't really argue with it.
Either that, or they'll think, this is a really, really close call, and we've absolutely scraped this. Let's learn from our mistake and never say, "Oh, I think we can get by without signing a player."
Yeah.
That's what I hope happens. That's what I mean.
That's the ideal, because at the end of the day, us and the crowd and everything chanting stuff at them is not going to make that much difference. It might make them think, that's all we can hope. But the biggest thing is, if we stay up, or even if we go down, when we come back up again, they'll know the mistakes that they made can't be repeated. And that's the most we can hope for.
And I think relegated and go down, they know then it's like, right, well, they'll get hammered, rightly so, and they'll have the summer to try and rectify that and try get us back. Whatever happens, now, next, like the summer, either way, there needs to be change. There needs to be change, whether that comes with Victor, whether that comes with, I don't know, and I just something has to change. The squad has to change. The recruitment policy has to change. 1-0 Rangers apparently as well. Big shout out for them. That'd be a huge result.
Wow.
I'm behind.
Yeah, so sorry, mate, for ruining it for you. It's all about change. But listen, I am conscious of time. Tomorrow, we will sort of find out our fate. We'll find out our fate. Burnley take on Palace. No, they don't. Burnley take on Villa, and Everton take on Palace. I want to hear your score predictions on both of them games. I'll go first to kick us off. So I think Villa win 2-0, and Everton beat Palace 2-1. So we'll go to that final day between us and Burnley. Lewis, I'm going to keep you on ice because I think you're going to go the other way. JT, score predictions for them too, please, bro.
For Leeds, or
no, you weren't listening, were you?
No.
Tomorrow's results. Tomorrow's results.
All right, we're gonna have Villa 2-0 and Palace 3-1.
3-1 Palace away at Everton. Wow. Yeah. Max?
I had in my head before you even said that you thought Villa were going to win 2-0 as well. I don't know why, but I just feel like they beat them 3-1 last time, didn't they? I think they have enough to just score the goals past them. Might even be 2-1. But I think the Palace game, we've got to remember that Everton have got a lot of their central defenders injured, and somebody like Zaha running at them, Eze, Olise, they've got some good players that can punish an already bad defence with injuries. I think Palace are going to beat Everton tomorrow night.
That'd be nice. Give us that score prediction.
3-0.
Palace?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be amazing. I would love it.
Or maybe 3-1 with Richarlison being annoying and scoring a penalty or something.
Yeah. Lewis?
Villa 3-0. And Palace 3-1.
What? Huh?
I said I think Burnley will get a point out of one of the two. I said I think it'll be Newcastle.
Right, okay.
I think they have more of a chance against Newcastle as well.
Let's so now that we know the results and how we're going, so
now that we know the results.
Well,
what you want to know all the way?
Are we now staying up, Lewis? Going into that final day?
I don't know. I'm leaning more.
Come on, quick answer, man.
You're leaning. You better stop leaning, mate. You're going to fall straight off that fence, mate.
I'm leaning more towards no, man. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think we get out at Brentford. That's my worry. And if Burnley gets something against Newcastle, then we're down based on that because they only need a point.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just my thought process. Yeah.
So Louis said we're down without saying we're down. Okay.
I'm leaning more towards it. I'm not definitively saying anything.
Okay.
I don't know. I genuinely can't. I can't call it.
Max?
I think you don't have moments like that, stroke equaliser, and then go down. I think it's...
Amen.
It's a massive
See, we
lift
got
for all of
an
them.
intelligent man on the show now. This is good.
I think we're going to go to Brentford, and I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think it's going to be tight, but it might be 2-1 to us, and we stay up.
Oh wow! Please, man, imagine. JT.
Oh, Brentford. 1-0, and you already know who's scoring it.
Firpo.
Damn right, Firpo. Senior Firpo.
Can I tell you our most ideal outcome?
Go on then. You've been doing maths while we've been talking?
No, it's simple maths. So, Burnley lose tomorrow, and Everton lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
We beat
Burnley
Brentford.
win and Everton lose.
Burnley win, Everton lose. And Everton go down, James, as I've said all along.
Mate, I said I don't think they're out of it yet. If we'd have beaten Brighton, I think we'd be safe right now.
I don't think Everton win
pick up
again.
points.
Yeah. To be fair, if it comes down to Arsenal away for them, and we can somehow win, and Burnley somehow beat Newcastle, then
it'll be hilarious. But
yeah.
Joel Linton masterclass.
I think we'll all be scratching our heads, to be honest, if it comes down to last day. Us, Burnley and Everton will all be scratching his head thinking, how...
It's going to swing. Whatever happens,
how is it so tight? How have we ended up well? Because
it's going to swing so much. That final date's going to swing so much.
And
we're going to be out of it. We're going to be in
worse.
it. We're going to be out of it. We're going to be in it, aren't we?
I'm not there, so it's worse. So I'll be seeing Jeff Stelling going, and this is how it stands now. And
no, you won't. You'll be watching me.
Yeah.
And you, 2 minutes behind Jeff Stelling. When Jeff goes, 2 minutes later, he'll be going, right, and this is how it stands now.
Yeah, right, man. Everyone in the chat, Joe, we're down, and I'm like, come on, we can do this.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah,
that's pain. That's pain when you're doing a watch along and it's one of those games.
Mrs. Dayton says, we just got to believe. Isn't that right, Lou?
It is. That is spot on.
You're fuming, aren't you?
Spot on. What do you think you're doing now, Joe?
Is that your... Wait, who's Diane? Is that... What am I missing here? Is that your mum?
Marge.
That's Diane Dayton. Can you not see how uncomfortable he looks?
He
didn't even react to it.
I hope she didn't hear his comment earlier.
I can't believe you've done that to me, man.
Last second.
Yeah, about the fingers.
Legends. Yeah. The Daytons are legends. Get some of your mum's positivity.
Yes, James, thank you. I wasn't going to correct him. You don't even deserve the correction at this point. Just says it wrong.
Deaton?
Correct. Well done, mate. Well done.
Dayton.
Wow.
Come on, you got to show respect when the mother's in town.
Yeah, sorry, Mrs. Deaton.
Shocking.
Right. We'll be back next week, hopefully, if the lads will join me, celebrating and looking ahead to this next season in the Premier League. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll be in Millennium Square if we stay up.
Well, yeah, potentially. That might just happen.
The first train up.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to fix it so that I've got both the games on. So if you want to join me for the watch along from 7:30, I will be live on the channel. Lewis, what have we got to look forward to over on LUFC, Lewis?
Nothing.
Nothing? Nothing in the pipeline?
No, not really. Nothing planned.
Okay.
Not like until the season ends, anyway.
Yeah, he's on Sky now. He's too big time.
Yeah, soccer and that. He's been invited on weekend. Max, Leeds lately. What's going down?
Well, there'll be a reaction, good or bad, on Sunday. I was thinking of trying to do a live watch along for tomorrow's games, but I've never done one before, so don't know how to set it up or anything. So I might have a look. But other than that, yeah, this Sunday's game will be a reaction, and then in the aftermath of that, a video on the situation. Either way, I'll either be like this in the thumbnail, or like this.
Where it went wrong or where it went right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? JT, what's going down?
Well, I've got my coursework, final bit of coursework in for tomorrow. Once that's done, the content's going to be coming back out. Just hit 1K. Shout out to you gangsters out there. Yeah, absolute legends. Yeah, finally joined the club.
Took long enough.
I can have a conversation with these guys now.
And now
but
it'll be clickbaiting the shit out of every video because he can monetize them.
I still can't. I'm still 60 hours away from that. But yeah,
Oh.
but I will be back. You know, of course, there'll be the old pre-match video, all of that, and of course, on Sunday, you know, Joe's a bit of an animated guy. If you get nervous and you want to watch the game and you want someone that's always cool, calm, collected, you don't see an ounce of emotion in them, then I'm the guy for the job. So
there's no coursework. It's counting down those 60 hours. That's the wait. There's no coursework. That's exactly why you got to wait for the content. The 60 hours and counting until that little green dollar button's there, and then he'd be like,
no, I've got to put more videos
please.
out to get that, mate. I've got to put more videos out to be able to
Have
get
you?
that.
"Is it
Yeah,
fun?
I've still
How
haven't
is
got
it?"
I'm like 60 hours off.
Let's chat about this off air, lads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, go subscribe to all their channels. Like genuinely, if you haven't already, please do. Great bunch of lads. As what's
3p a week monetization.
what's Jesse say? Great young men. This is your leadership group right here. This is your leadership group right here. We'll see you again next week. Or actually, we might be back Saturday evening if I know Lewis won't. He'll be out partying in the Acker in Halifax or something like that. But Saturday
He
evening,
already
we'll
got an
probably do-
earful for all his goals for dragging him away now.
Yes,
From,
we'll be doing a
Recruitment.
preview before the game.
Yeah,
right, I'm
man,
going to end it there.
spot on.
I'm going to end it there. Bye.